Hello, beautiful people. Welcome once again to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking. Thank you for stopping by. Today is going to be a story time, kind of, but a very interesting one. And some things I actually reflected back, and I felt you guys will want to hear this. I'm very sure that many of you actually.
She said, well, what did your mother say? I took a deep breath. I looked at my friends. I was like, it's about to go down.
I expected. Hey, what am I saying? I'm very sure that many of you are actually expecting this kind of story. So don't worry. Here it is for you, because some of you will say that, see everything that is just good. You're always just saying positive things about Malaysia and all that. Haven't you had any other experience here? So don't worry, this one is for you. But let's see how it's going to end. Anyways, if you are new to this Happy Family, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for joining. And if you're a returning subscriber, you are the best ones. Thank you so much for always returning. I love you guys so much. Now, let's proceed to the video. Okay, welcome back. So from the title of the video you've already seen, like, I want to share with you guys my worst experience, okay? Worst experience ever in Malaysia. Watch to the end so that you don't judge, okay? You know, some people, they just quickly start commenting and, dropping some kind of things before actually completing the video. So yeah, watch to the end so that you can understand what I'm talking about. So I have like maybe 3 major experiences, which I'm going to share with you very briefly. It's a brief video here in Malaysia. Malaysia is so beautiful. I always love to start with that because it's really a very beautiful country. You know, you have seen all my videos where I explore around, you know, do stuff for you guys and show you the real Malaysia, like without any much of filters, you understand? Just some few editings. So yeah, it is a very beautiful country and I've actually fallen in love with Malaysia. However, there are some things that I've also experienced along the line, which I'm going to share with you guys. And one of the major things I experienced, I'm very happy that there is actually a kind of reconstruction, okay, of that thing now in the country. I saw it somewhere. So my first experience that was actually worse, and I could say that I was really flabbergasted that day, was this one. Actually, then I was staying in a condo. You guys know condominium, right? The big, those tall buildings. Yeah, like the one I showed you nearby here. So I was staying in a condo like that, I think close to Mutiara Damansara or something that time, before I moved to my current accommodation. So, you know, this kind of condos, you expect different people to be there, right? Like there are a lot of people, you know, it's so attractive kind of accommodation. So anybody can just come there so far you can pay for the accommodation. But for me, I was just staying there for comfort, basically at that time. And not just comfort, because we moved from our former condo, and then one of my housemates, we had to move to another place before making other decisions. So we decided that, okay, let's actually stay in this place because we have tried to get some accommodations and we couldn't get, which is also one of the challenges I'm going to share with you, okay? So when I got to that place, I've stayed there, you know, I started staying there for some time and everything was okay, everything was fine. You know, I was thinking the security there is very tight and all that, which is true. Security in Malaysia is beautiful. However, guys, on a fateful day, I was just coming back from, I think from work or somewhere. I was just coming back basically, but it was in the afternoon, it was not even in the night, okay? And that day, what happened was that I don't even have my passport with me that day. I'm telling you guys. So I didn't even have my passport with me that day, you know. And you know this kind of passport thing in Malaysia, especially if you are now somebody like me, this is the truth though. Sometimes they are very careful, you know. I've had experiences of some of my friends also. Like there was one of my friend who was here, was doing PhD, and he brought his family here. So, you know, he had to get a car, right? So while driving, sometimes usually tell me that if the police see him, they will just stop him. You know, that kind of thing. So that thing happens in Malaysia. If you are relating with my story, please let me know in the comment section below. And I don't really blame them. It's because of, you know, maybe some past experiences or some things that have happened before, you understand, or stories, or not just stories, like they have had cases, bad cases, you know, with these particular groups. So they are very careful. They are trying to protect their country. They're trying to, you know, ensure that citizens are fine and things are not being done in the bad way. But unfortunately, you know, some of the officers actually go beyond the normal thing they're supposed to do. Do you understand? So I've seen where, like my black friend, an African also, who is doing PhD, you understand? I think somebody doing PhD here, to some extent, at least 90% of somebody that will come to Malaysia to do PhD, because PhD is not easy, right? Should be somebody that is reasonable. Do you understand? So there's sometimes that there is need for respect, if I'm not mistaken, no matter your color. Okay, so they stopped the car. Other cars were going, they did not stop them. You understand? But because it was all the same kind of people in that car, they stopped the car and they had to ask him. And he has his family there with his children, you know, they were asking questions that were not really necessary to be asked, to be sincere. But actually, yeah, they allowed him at the end of the day. So what am I saying? My own case, I just came home that day. That was the first time, and that should be the last time I've ever had that experience, okay? And that was like 2 years ago. I just came home and I noticed that I used a Grab. I noticed that the policemen were already following me. I was like, what's happening here? Like, they were like almost five or six with the bike, you know? So I was like, But you know, at the end of the day, me, myself, I'm not guilty of anything, right? So I was very calm, but it was really surprising to me. Like, that was the first time. I used to hear people say this, say that. Me, I just used to feel like, if you're doing the right thing, nobody will come after you and all that. You understand? So they finally stopped. As I just dropped from the Grab, the car, they just came from the back like that, you know, and two came straight to me and stopped me before I even enter into my apartment, you understand? That's to enter and go into the condominium and all that. They stopped me right in front there. I said, okay. Actually, two things were in my mind. One thing was I was actually shaking. Do you know why? Because I did not even have the passport at that point. Like, I was renewing my visa then with the University of Malaya. So I was like, anything can happen here, because I've had different stories. Like, they will not even listen to you. They'll just take you to the station first, and maybe later your institution will help you and all that. So I was so skeptical, you know. If you're the one, you'll be frightened, right? So I just waited, and I was very calm. One other thing in me was like, but you didn't do anything wrong. At least you even have a proof, you understand? Like the paper that the university will give us, the temporary slip, okay, pending the time the passport is back and the visa. So they stopped me, and you know the funniest thing, they said, hi, boss. I'm telling you, hi, boss. And I was like, okay, this one's may be calm, but there are plenty there. The light of their bike was just doing like this. And I said, hi, good afternoon, and all that. And then they asked me, what about your passport? First of all, they said, are you a student? I said, yes. I mean, they said, what are you doing? Sorry. I said, I'm studying at University of Malaya. Oh, you am? Okay. But that was not all. They said, so can I see your document? I said, document. So I just said, okay, my passport is actually not with me, it's with the immigration, because I'm renewing my visa, you understand? Then I just brought out the, what do you call it? The slip. But I was actually shivering inside me, because I know that they can just say, okay, let's go to the station first before blah, blah, blah. But luckily for me, guys, even though it was a very frustrating time for me, but they just look at the thing, and the other two guys there were still trying to maybe do more things. But the way I was so calm, and again, the way I was dressed and everything, I was just okay, you understand? So the guy at the back, like the other three, I think one of them will be the boss, you understand? That one just said, he just called them that, allow him. That was how I escaped though. I think they were actually looking for somebody, because police will not just come like that, you understand, to come and maybe raid somewhere or something. They have information. So probably they had an information already from their forensics and whatever, and they wanted to actually come and track that person down at that time. And unfortunately, the person would be black. And since I was also black, and, you know, coming at that same time, they said, let's investigate this guy. But there are two lessons I learned from this experience, to be sincere. Actually, I think their police are really working here, you understand? Because prevention is better than cure, right? The only thing is that they should not try to be one-sided, okay? Like, just say, oh, because you are this, and then no. But they still left me that day, although I've had cases where some people, even though they had that sleep with them, they will still take them to the station and all that. I've had friends that have had that experience, and I think it needs to change, you understand? Like, there are good people in this country. My video is not to condemn or anything, but just to, you know, share my own experience, and also actually amplify the cry of some other innocent foreigners, Nigerians, Africans, you understand? And even other foreigners, I don't know, that are in Malaysia and they're doing the right thing should not be stigmatized because of the bad eggs. Do you understand? Now, why I said that issue has been solved is that the new police inspector general, assistant inspector general or something, that one even said clearly that he will ensure that foreigners are not stopped unnecessarily. I read it in the news. I was like, wow, that's so nice. He said he's going to ensure, and he has given order already that they should not stop people unnecessarily. You understand? If you're stopping somebody, you must stop somebody with a proof, okay? Or maybe a sign that something is wrong somewhere. But just unnecessary stopping because the person is maybe African or the person is a foreigner or something like that, I think that is not good, right? So other people should also learn from that. My second experience that I did not really like so much, or will I say was a kind of very frightening for me here in Malaysia. We call it worst experience, right? It's a very funny one. So I'm going to tell you guys. Actually, this one happened in the night. Then in University Malaya, when things were still normal, the library used to operate till around that kind of almost 11, you understand, p.m. in the night. So I was working. Then I usually work in the library so much because the library here is so conducive, you understand? And I think it's the same standard in most of the universities here in Malaysia, you know? So I was just working that day as usual, doing my research and stuff, doing my master's then. And I came home very late because I was staying in this same place I'm telling you about, around that Muchaya Damansara area. So I came home very late, guys. When I stopped in the train, in fact, I think that was the last train, you know, because, yeah, that was the last train, I think. So it's because it's a little bit far from my place. So I stopped there. Then my house is not just very close to the train station, but you can still walk, actually. It's like a condominium in the front. Maybe like that kind of 15-minute walk, you understand? So, and why will I book a Grab, right? I already got home, so I felt there was no need to book any Grab or Uber. Let me just walk home. So, as I was walking, guys, not too far from the train station, the Muchai Damansara train station, I started hearing some kind of screams. These noises were not normal, you understand? And I was like, what's happening here? You know that kind of frightening face, you'll be frightened. I was like, wow. The noise began to increase, you know, and the tempo was getting higher and higher. So I said, what's happening? So I now tried to be very vigilant. Then I stopped at a point and I saw a police car. I said, wow. That was around that kind of 12 something, you know. So I saw the police car and I was like, something is going on here, right? So I saw them, they were beating, I think they were beating some people. You see, those people were drunk. I later got the story of what happened that night, actually. But I was so scared, you understand? Those people were drunk and maybe they were fighting or something like that, you understand? You know, people do those things. Some people just go to bar and then they just get drunk and start misbehaving and all that. So they handled them and they were dealing with them. I was hearing noises, different kind of noise. I was scared because anybody that is moving at that time also, they may just want to investigate you. And at that time, their tempo was not the one that may be so friendly, you understand? So I just stood at the corner and was watching the drama and they put those people into the police car. And once they were trying to zoom off, they were still around that side. I just walked gently. I just took the bold step of faith. I was walking, but trust me, guys, my mind was shaking, beam, beam. But I was just walking, and that's how I just walked past them. And from my front now, I saw what was happening until they put the people into the police car and drove them to the station. So yeah, that was the other experience that was quite frightening for me. And honestly, two things are involved. Number one, I think the police in Malaysia, they work with a lot of information. Like, once they just get information like this, maybe, for example, in this neighborhood now, something happened and somebody just called the police, immediately they won't waste time. But in some places, they waste time until everything is, you know, already destroyed. Then they come. But here, they don't waste time. They're very active. But I'm just saying that as they are active like that, they should also try to also be very careful when making judgments, okay? Not to make judgment based on maybe somebody is black or somebody is foreigner or somebody is this. No, anybody can be a criminal, you understand? And I like the way they actually balance their things here in this country. And I'm happy for the new law, and I hope that things will be better because I know there is this kind of bad vibes, okay, that the foreigners, especially the blacks, You know, they feel that there's racism and all that. I've seen people do, you know, they have done video about maybe racism in Malaysia and all that. Well, me, I promote Malaysia a lot, and there's not any country that is free from racism. That's the truth, you understand? Definitely, we have all experienced it in one way or the other, but I think we all should actually be our brother's keeper, you understand? And it's not like it's so serious a case here. I don't think it's as serious as some people really say it, because the racism here is a very funny one, if I may say. And it's a kind of, you know, the one that most times there's no fightings or whatever, but it's just this kind of social racism to some extent. But it's very minimal, if you ask me. Many people are very friendly. When you get close to them, you know who they are very well. And I think with this, I have come to the conclusion of my story and my experiences. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Have you experienced what I've experienced before? And what is your advice, okay, to foreigners in Malaysia? What do you think they can do, especially Africans or blacks? You know, what do you think they can do to actually avoid some of these things? But so far, so good. In all my experiences, nothing bad really happened to me. You know, I've been friends. Afterwards, you know, I've met with police and, you know, I've discussed with them. You understand? Like, feel free with them. Sure you get. It all depends on how you package yourself and how you actually represent yourself in their presence. If you are without guilt, without sin, you'll definitely be free at the end of the day. So anyways, guys, that's it. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I would like to respond to you guys as well. What do you want me to do? What topic do you want me to talk about? About experiences, about stories? Just give me what you want to hear, okay, for the sit-down videos, okay, in the upcoming episodes. And also, if I have opportunity to go out, I'll definitely go out and show you guys. But now the cases in Malaysia is very high, especially in Selangor. It's so critical, okay? I think what I'll be doing now, I may try to do some reaction. I don't know if I can do reaction videos. I don't know if they're going to work, or maybe cooking as well. I will try my best. But overall, I love Malaysia so much with the whole of my heart. It's a beautiful country, and I can tell you over and over and over again, 90%, I'm highly satisfied with this country. So I see you next time. Stay positive, stay safe. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Much love, and God bless you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.